So let's get right into it. We all hear that AI is going to change everything, right? But what if the race to build it is like a modern replay of one of the most secret and world changing projects in all of history? That's what we're digging into today, the crazy parallels between the hunt for artificial general intelligence and the Manhattan Project.
I mean, that's a heavy comparison, isn't it? Building an atomic bomb versus writing code. But this isn't just about the tech itself. No, it's about the sheer scale of the ambition, the intense secrecy, and the very real possibility of unleashing something that could totally reshape our world, for better or for worse.
To really get this whole quest, you have to start with a person right at the center of it all. The guy who's been, in his own words, thinking about thinking his entire life. Demis Hassabis. Yeah, this is not your average tech founder story. We're talking about a kid who was a chess prodigy, then became this legendary video game designer. For him, games were never just fun. They were like the perfect sandbox for understanding intelligence. And that obsession is exactly what led him to start DeepMind back in 2010. And the mission statement wasn't exactly small. This wasn't about a better photo app or a faster search engine. The whole point from day one was to solve intelligence itself, to build AGI and then aim that powerful new tool at humanity's biggest, gnarliest problems, from curing diseases to fixing climate change. And just like the project it gets compared to, this whole quest for AGI, it kicked off in secret with a hand-picked team of brilliant people chasing a goal that sounded, frankly, almost impossible. The parallels here are just wild. In the beginning, DeepMind was in total stealth mode. They literally called their own team a Manhattan Project of Talent. And just like the original project wanted to unlock the power of the atom, their goal was to crack the code of intelligence itself. So, to prove their idea could actually work, they needed a challenge that everyone thought was completely impossible for a computer. They chose the game of Go. This game is all about deep intuition, creativity. It's so complex there are more possible moves than atoms in the known universe. For decades, experts said a machine could never master it. This was their ultimate test. And then came the match against the world champion Lee Sedol. DeepMind's AI, AlphaGo, did something incredible. It played a move, the now legendary move 37, that was so creative, so out of left field, it just broke the brains of the human commentators. It was beautiful, but it just wasn't human. Just let that sink in for a second. AlphaGo's own analysis said the chance of a top human player making that move was 1 in 10,000. This wasn't just a machine being a better calculator. This was something else entirely. It was a glimpse of a new kind of creativity, a totally new form of intelligence. Later, when AlphaGo played the world's #1 player in China, things got even crazier. The Chinese government famously ordered the broadcast to be cut off. And in that moment, a research project became a massive geopolitical event. This was AI's Sputnik moment. It was the starting gun for a global race to dominate this new technology. But a breakthrough this massive comes with a profound weight, a sense of responsibility. You have all this power, and now you're facing a modern version of the Oppenheimer dilemma. You see, just like Oppenheimer, the people building AGI aren't just inventing some new gadget. They are literally unleashing a new force upon humanity, and they have to carry the burden of what that force could become. And the risks? They are not science fiction. We're talking about very specific dangers that experts, including the ones at DeepMind, are warning us about. We're talking autonomous weapons, wars that happen so fast no human can keep up, AI that could crash markets or even manipulate world leaders. The potential for things to go wrong is just staggering. And that brings us to the really scary part. Unlike most tech, where you can move fast and break things, you can't do that with superintelligence. We might only get one shot to get this right. One mistake could be the last one we ever make. The pressure is just immense. But for all the terrifying risks, the goal was never just to win board games. The very same technology is now being aimed at solving some of humanity's oldest, hardest problems. So after Go, DeepMind turned its sights on a problem that had stumped scientists for 50 years: protein folding. See, proteins are the tiny machines that make life work, and their function depends on their 3D shape. Figuring out that shape was a massive and pretty much unsolved challenge. What happened next was unbelievable. DeepMind's new AI, AlphaFold, didn't just get a little bit better at the problem,
It basically solved it. It just completely cracked one of the grand challenges of biology. Science was changed, like, overnight.
And this is the other side of that Manhattan Project coin. Instead of keeping the power secret, they gave it away. DeepMind used AlphaFold to predict the structure of nearly every known protein. That's 200 million of them. And they put the whole database online for free for everyone. A gift to humanity that's speeding up research all over the world.
This quote really nails it, doesn't it? It captures that double-edged sword. The same basic tech that can help us design life-saving drugs could also design new weapons. It's a tool with more power than anything we've ever created, and we're just starting to figure out what that even means.
So, look, we're not just talking about the next iPhone here. The arrival of a true AGI, an intelligence that can outthink us in literally every way, would be a fundamental break in the story of our species. History would be split into before and after.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question, right? The one that hangs over this entire field. It's the core challenge, not just for the scientists building this stuff, but for every single one of us. As we stand right on the edge of this new world, figuring out how to control it might be the most important question we ever have to answer.